My name is Monaco. How may I help you?
Yes, sir. I had submitted a complaint and I asked for an investigation, and it was taken by the department or your evidence intake division, and I'm just following up on that.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a look and see what we can find here for you. And can I start off by getting your social, please?
Yeah, 463-812150.
And your first name?
George Benavides.
And then your date of birth?
4/13/70.
So it's George, and then Benavides is Benavidev or Des?
Vides.
Vides. Perfect. All right. And George, what's the best contact phone number for you, sir?
210-322-9328.
Okay. And then your most current email?
NLFTI2024@icloud.com.
Okay, perfect. So 210-322-9328, and then NLFTI2024@icloud.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for providing that. Hang on just a second while I look into this here for you. And you're just checking on the status of this?
Yes, sir. There was a complaint filed at your office. There was some documents in a form sent to your office, and you guys said you received it. I sent it back on looks like February. I sent it back on February. Let's see, that was sent on February 27, 2025. It was received by your intake by Nathan Bitter.
Okay.
You signed off on it on the intake evidence center.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
It was
take a look here and see.
Yeah, my phone's being wiretapped.
So when was the? I'm sorry. Say that again.
My phone. Someone. My phone's like someone. I don't know. Someone listening to the calls or something. I hear echo.
Yeah, I just heard that little ping sound.
Yep. Someone's tapped in somewhere.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay. So did you receive my complaint, my forms, and my symptoms?
Let me look back here. When was that initial complaint filed? Was that in February or March, or when was that?
It was filed. I mean, it was argument a long time ago, but I reopened it because of the evidence, and you guys are coming out that you are treating Havana syndrome patients now. So,
okay.
Yeah, you should have received that back on. All the information should have received back on March 24, 2025.
March. Okay, so let's take a look here.
You asked me to resend my complaint, and I did. I sent it to you on a form 21-0781.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. So let me pull up the information here. Okay.
This is Department of Veterans Affairs, right?
It is.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. So I see the information in here from your March complaint about the evidence intake. Let me pull up this other one here. Okay, that one is not related to your call. And then did you call yesterday?
I
about a
called. I
complaint?
called yesterday, yes, but nobody is able to answer my questions. My questions is that did you receive my documents?
Okay. Yeah, let me take a look and see if there's anything in here about that, because the evidence intake, there's not like a direct line for evidence intake. And
Well, I mean, I got a certified response back from you guys. It was sent. You guys sent it back.
okay.
I received it stamped.
And did it say that it was received?
Yeah.
Okay. So what more are you requesting?
Well, I'm requesting a review of my case and the evidence that was given to you. Is that happening? Is there an investigation going to begin? When does that start? What's the summary on the case? What's happening now?
Okay, so let me take a look here. Okay, so from the complaint, it looks like it's in progress right now, and they are investigating it, and it shows on here that they're set to have a resolution by August 6th.
August 6th, they're going to have a resolution. Are they going to give me any chance to present my evidence?
I could not answer that for you. I'm sure somebody will probably reach out to you before then. And just be sure to check your email and, to check for any correspondence. And if somebody, reaches out to you, definitely respond back. But as far as the evidence that you have and what you want to present, that's, obviously something that needs to be sent in. Did you send it in initially the first time?
Yeah, but I want a hearing. I want a hearing. I want a hearing in persona. I want a hearing. Yes, I want a hearing. I want to appear in court and show evidence.
Okay.
You said they're gonna investigate.
So have you filed something in the court?
In what court, sir?
You said that you wanted to have a court hearing.
I want to have a hearing with the VA. Don't they grant hearings to veterans that got reopened cases? Don't you have a chance to present that to a judge?
Yeah, I don't think that's I don't know, to be honest with you. I've never heard of them having an open hearing like that and presenting things to a judge.
All right, okay.
That would be something that would have to be done through like a court. If you're taking the VA to court for something.
No, sir. No, sir. The VA has their own courts. The VA has that. They do. They have their own court system. Yes, they do. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what your job.
Okay.
What is your job?
I work in the Veterans Experience Office, sir.
Okay. Well, the VA has their own court where you present evidence. According to law, the VA is supposed to help a veteran establish a case. If you read your law there, it says that the VA has a duty to establish a case for the veteran. And you guys are advertising that you guys are treating Havana syndrome patients, and that you have standards and values for doctors to abide by. TRICARE's taking patients. The GOA's laying out the GOA, Government Accountability Office, has laid out the treatment records for VA and veterans patients for Havana syndrome. So I don't know what's the holdback.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I can only tell you on here that there's that the day, it shows on here that they have 14 days to come up with a resolution on the case, and that would be August 6th. August
6th. Is that going to be in writing?
I don't know if it's going to be in writing or not. I don't know how they're going to respond to you. But you can call back before then, if you wanted to call back like a few days before to see if it's done, and see if there's a resolution on here. Because usually what they do is they'll have a resolution that they will send, and then there'll be a resolution on here that if you call in, we can look at and we can see. And there's usually a point of contact on here that you can reach out to if you have any other questions or concerns about the resolution that they send. So that would be something that you would have to address with that person, because I don't know how they're going to respond to you as far as if it's going to be in writing, if it's going to be through an email, through a phone call. I just don't know. That's not something that they tell us how they're going to respond to you on various complaints.
The VA is advertised that they are aware of this and they are treating this, but you guys, I guess, have taken down the title on the war-related injuries. It's not you advertise it and then you take it down. Like for instance, here when I go to war-related incidents, and I go to let's see here. Let's see, complex exposure. Okay, look in the complex exposure. Let's see. Okay, so you guys under Complex Exposure Threat Center Excellence, you guys have taken down the anonymous health incidents. Why is it taken down?
I couldn't answer that for you, sir.
Well, I would like some answers, sir. I mean, you guys had it advertised. I have a copy of it right here. You guys had it advertised that the Complex Exposure Threat Center of Excellence, Anonymous Health Incidents, AHI. You guys posted on May 14, 2024. On May 14, 2024, you guys posted a situation awareness of anonymous health incidents for providers. Presented Robert Fortson, DO, Louis M. French, PhD. Click here for presentation slides. It was a 75-page presentation. Where did it go?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Who can answer that question, sir? Who can answer that question?
Yeah, I don't know who could answer that question. Let me take a look here. All right, let's see. Okay, yeah, because I can see your complaint on this as well.
Well, you guys had it advertised on the web. You guys had it advertised on the web back in November of last year. You guys had it advertised on the web of November last year. It says anonymous. It said anonymous health incidents AHI. VHA has identified a critical need to evaluate emerging health information regarding anonymous health incidents AHI, referred to as Havana syndrome in the media. AHI is an emerging health and readiness concern for the Department of Defense and Department of Veterans Affairs, since a significant number of veterans are among existing AHI cases. A clear cause of AHI is yet to be identified. Therefore, additional clinical and research work is needed to help prevent, diagnose, treat, and aid current and future cases. While emergency literature suggests some symptoms associated with AHI are similar to those of traumatic brain injury, clinical and scientific understanding of the causes and prognosis for AHI continues to evolve. The CETEC plays a central role for its ongoing evolution. That's what you advertised back in November 2024, sir. Where did it go?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, sir. I do not know, and I see that you did file a complaint on that as well.
Who can tell me where it went?
I can take another complaint if you like on it and see if somebody can reach out to you and let you know.
Well, I would like to know why the VA removed it.
Okay.
I would like a response, and if I don't get a response, then I have to go to the proper channel. which is my senator and congressman who represent the American people.
Okay. Yeah, let me, I'll submit a complaint for you on that and see if somebody can get you a response to that, okay?
Yeah.
Hang on just 1 second here. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. So you said that it was on there in November
Of 2024. Yes, sir, it was.
Okay. Okay, so November of 2024. Okay, so this is the document about war-related injuries. You said, right?
Yes,
Havana syndrome.
Yes, yes, sir. It was published on.
Okay.
It was published on on your website.
Is there a shadow CIA agency?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
No, go ahead, sir.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I'm sorry. Okay.
Is there like a layer below the layer below?
Okay, so let's see here. Okay.
Yeah, so it's missing. It's missing from your website. It's not in your website. But see, it was a protocol for doctors to take care of veterans. It was a 75-page PowerPoint addressing doctors on how to treat and take care of veterans. Why was that removed?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, sir.
I mean, it's usable tool, not just for me, but for other doctors that I may want to go see.
So it was available in November of 2024. And now you cannot access.
Well, I mean, if you go on your website and you look, if you go on your website and you look at the website and you go into the title there, it does not indicate that it's there under complex exposure threats for the center. It's not there.
Okay. And did you save the PowerPoint?
I did. I have it right here. You have an email? I'll email it right to your desk.
Okay. Save the PowerPoint directing doctors for treatment. for treating victims of Havana syndrome. Okay. PowerPoint. To know why. And you would like to know why it is not available on the VA.gov website,
Right,
correct?
because it educates
Okay.
it educates the veteran on Havana syndrome. It gives us guidance on where to go or who to contact or what maybe go to a doctor that specializes in that field that we're directed to go to.
Yeah. I don't know why it is not available on VA.gov for other veterans to.
Yeah, because I'm being zapped every day, man. I'm being zapped 24/7. It does not stop. Something is locked onto my mind. And they are zapping me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It does not stop. All right? I am
What do you mean? What do you mean by zapping you?
I mean attacking my head, stealing my thoughts, zapping me, torturing my body, manipulating my
Okay.
neural system, causing involuntary movements of my organs, making me urinate, making me defecate, slurred speech, body pains, ache pains, both on my dorsal and ventral side, skin burns, destruction of private property, destruction of vehicles, destruction of my mind, causing brain lesions, skin lesions, contusions, being falsely in prison, mentally incarcerated by electronic prison and geofencing, constantly every day. My recordings of frequency an enormous amount of 200 hertz and more than that, trespassing my home to seek me out and kill me and slowly kill me with artificial intelligence, algorithms, or ESP, extrasensory perception.
Okay.
Nobody believed me. No, you're crazy. Well, I'm even more crazy now. You're medicating me. Now I'm here isolated, and attacked with these weapons.
So who do you think is attacking you?
The fusion centers, local neighbors, contractors. And if we would go to court today, I would subpoena the fusion centers because they are causing fraud against the Department of Veterans Affairs and veterans. They are coercing veterans to go seek help from the VA, and it will continue on unless you shut these damn centers down. They are no good. It's terrorism. It's separation of powers. So help me God.
And you said that that's the fusion center?
Yes, they're in every damn state. They don't belong there.
Okay.
It needs to be investigated. These people are using exotic weapons, space-based weapons, to attack veterans and attack Americans in our homes, making us feel like hypochondriacs, creating false symptoms so we can walk into VA clinics and walk into hospitals and make claims. It's fraudulent claims against insurance providers and hospitals. And you will see a lot of that at the VA soon. So help me God.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way.
Well, I'm serious. It's war crimes. It's espionage.
Sir, I totally hear what you're saying.
No, you don't, sir, because everybody's ignoring the facts. You're ignoring the facts. When we ask the VA when we ask the VA and your providers if you know about Havana syndrome, they deny that. The fact is that this has been going on for 72 years, sir. 72 years, and all the government is doing is paying whistleblowers millions of stolen taxpayers' money. All right? It needs to be investigated. It's an inside job of human trafficking, racketeering, or RICO.
Like I said, sir, I'm sorry that you're going through that, and I hear what you're saying. I really do, and I am going to document what you're saying about these infusion centers, and we'll see if we can get you some feedback, and somebody can provide some information as to the PowerPoint, on where that PowerPoint went. And I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. And
sir, you know what, sir. This is why I'm so upset. This is why I'm upset, because veterans spend time in the armed forces, contributed to the Montgomery GI Bill. We go serve our country, come out and find a job, go to school, graduate, and then we go back into being back in the program of MK Ultra, illegal spying and torturing, MK Ultra all over again. Okay? They're isolating us in our homes, targeting the veterans so we can go file claims, and then we lose our jobs and we lose the effort that we put in to go to school and earn education, to be put in the program, to be wrongfully diagnosed and even wrongfully compensated. When will they leave us alone? When? I mean, think about it, sir. You think about it. I serve in the armed forces. I contribute to the Montgomery GI Bill. I survived, get out, get my monies, go to school, get educated, go to pharmacy school, go to medical school, go to work. And then here I am being targeted by some criminal that decides to manipulate my life so I can go back to the VA and file my complaint. Does that make sense to you, sir?
What type of complaints are you filing?
Well, the symptoms, sir. These symptoms are over-exaggerating. They're causing us to be hypochondriacs. These fusion centers are operating illegally. They're bringing on symptoms so we can go back to the VA and charge more money, or go back to private doctors. I mean, they're making us look like hypochondriacs. You're using the AI to analyze the American body. And the AI programs symptoms of a 50-year-old man, when the 50-year-old man, all he does is sit at home. They don't take in consideration that the 50-year-old man may be at the gym every day. They don't consider that the 50-year-old man has blood pathology done. But you want to program the AI to attack a veteran and attack American, causing false and fake symptoms. That is fraud.
And
I'm just asking, because when you bring in the VA to court, they're going to ask you the same question in discovery, and it's going to be unleashed whether you like it or not.
Right.
These fusion centers are corrupt. They're corrupt.
Is there a fusion center? Is there a fusion center by you?
Yes, Southwest Texas Fusion Center, right here in Texas.
Okay.
Subcontracting neighbors to come into my area and target me, causing false symptoms. And you can go get your court order and subpoena the records to see if I'm blacklisted. And if I'm blacklisted, 9 times out of 10, they are tracking me and hunting me down for over 32 years without a federal court order. I have a case of espionage for 30 years where the government has illegally spied on me, tracking me, and torturing me without my consent or without a federal court order, so help me God.
Okay.
It is clearly espionage.
You believe that the government is targeting you specifically?
Not just me, sir. I've got several complaints from other veterans.
Okay. So you're hearing this, that other veterans are having the similar symptoms and thoughts and stuff like that you're explaining, correct?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I've got records here that prove that other veterans are being targeted, and that prove they were investigating
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Do you believe that Havana syndrome is real?
Targeting.
Sir, will you answer my...
I'm sorry. Say that.
Do you believe Havana syndrome exists?
I don't know if I can answer that.
Well, like I said, I submitted a FOIA request to the Department of Veterans Affairs, and you can include this in the record. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, the VA admits to silent weapons being deployed in America. I got a FOIA back from them, and they clarify that. And I think it's a lie. There's more cases being presented by other veterans. And what the VA said, let me get that record for you. Okay, so on May 30th, 2024, I filed a FOIA request to the VA. It says this is a FOIA request to release the number of complaints reported to the United States Department of Veterans Affairs or United States Department of Veterans Affairs, OIG, in regards to the following topic: Havana syndrome, microwave energy weapons, direct energy weapons, neurological weapons, V2K, COINTELPRO, MK Ultra, and other electronic warfare. Okay? Now, in regards to that letter, the VA responded. And they responded back on June 4, 2024. And this is what they told me. This is a response to your Freedom of Information Act requested on May 30th, 2024, in which you asked for the number of complaints reported to the VA OIG hotline regarding to the following, which was Havana syndrome, microwave energy weapons, direct energy weapons, neurological weapons, V2K, COINTELPRO, MK Ultra, and other electronic warfare. Your request was received in this office on May 30th, 2024. Okay? And it says here, and we have assigned FOIA tracking number 24-00045-FOIA to request. Please refer to it whenever communicating with the VA OIG about your request. The number of complaints that the VA OIG hotline received and one on each keyword are below. Havana syndrome, 1. V2K, 9. MK Ultra, 2. Electronic warfare, 2. Okay. We trust this information is of assistance to you. Sincerely, Ruth Lee G. Bellamy, Supervisor Government of Information Specialist. Now, sir, that does not make any sense and does not relate to what the Department of Defense has told me about. The Department of Defense, Department of Justice says, well, wait a minute. I have 2,383 complaints of a silent weapon being deployed in America. The same thing was asked to them, and they said COINTELPRO, 49 complaints. Direct energy weapons, 933 complaints. Havana syndrome, 195 complaints. Microwave energy weapons, 5 complaints. MK Ultra complaints, 758 complaints. MK Ultra complaints, 94 complaints. Neurological weapons, 9 complaints. V2K, 343 complaints, and a total of 2,383 complaints. So help me God.
It was 2,000 what?
2,383 complaints.
2,383.
And the VA told me that they had, oh my God. They only had what, 12 complaints? Something's not making any sense here.
Okay. So,
And like I said, if you want the information, I can email it right to your office, sir. I'm not pulling any wool over you. That's very sincere.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't believe you are. I'm not thinking that in any way, shape, or form. I hear what you're saying, and I hear your frustration and, obviously concern with this, and, that you're being targeted and, stuff like that. I'm not discrediting what you're saying. I hear you 100%.
No, you don't. No, you don't, sir. Because look, I would rather be working, sir, but you have some animal, some enemy of this country that's targeting Americans. We would rather be working, paying taxes, but I got to sit here as an icon to society that, yes, it's okay to collect welfare as a veteran and sit here and do nothing all day. That's not right, sir. I don't want to be casted out to society to look like an icon for the welfare program that's been around for 72 years and an act of fraud. That is not me. I am not your welfare icon.
No, I understand that. I understand what you're saying.
You guys picked the wrong man for the right job, guy, and I'm not the guy that's for the job that you want. And if you're using me as a Manchurian candidate, it better be investigated because we're going to go to court. It needs to stop, sir. It has to. You cannot beat around the bush in this case any longer. People know what the hell's going on. They do. And you guys, and what's pissing me off is that the government committed espionage against me, and they sit there on the House and Senate floor and hold kangaroo courts while I sleep at night trying to record my information so they can come up with a defense against their act of espionage. That's what they're doing right now, holding kangaroo courts on the House and Senate floor, trying to find some evidence to defend themselves against their espionage.
Okay. And just so I can clarify one thing, so the other veterans that you have spoken to that have claimed the same thing and that have told you the same things basically that you're describing, are they getting the similar symptoms and thoughts and everything else like you are?
Well, let me refer you back to an FBI agent / Army veteran, Mr. Gerald Sosby.
Okay.
And if you type in Gerald Sosby, type in Gerald Sosby on a computer, you're going to come out with a lot of information. So I'm going to inject his complaint. Okay. He's a former veteran and a former Army veteran. Okay. In his complaint to the Department of Veterans Affairs, okay, it says here, it was directed to Robert A. McDonald, director of VA. Okay. He has a 3-page complaint. We're going to read that to you loudly here. Okay. This is directed to the Department of Veterans Affairs Office, Washington, D.C., 810 Vermont Avenue, Northwest, Washington, D.C. Now, I am not perfect, okay? Because remember, I am schizophrenia delusional. That was diagnosed by the VA. So if I forget things, it's because I'm being targeted and tortured. This letter was addressed to the VA on June 10, 2017. Okay? It says confidential. To protect identities of parties mentioned herein. Robert A. McDonald, Director of Veterans Affairs, Central Office, Washington, D.C., 810 Vermont Avenue, Northwest, Washington, D.C. It says, in Ray to veteran Gerald Wayne Sosby, SSAN, US 544-38508, Army file. Date of birth, 8/3/83045. Okay? In his letter here, on the back, it says here, also, I have survived literally hundreds of assaults on my person, a few attempts on my life, and extreme assaults by high-tech, satellite-based weaponry, street thugs, operatives for FBI, and extreme psychological operations designed to injure me in ways that most people cannot conceive. Some such assaults include chemical combination to form kidney stones, injected biological infection in your tooth, chemicals to disable organs, tracking devices causing cerebral vascular diseases, pumping toxic fumes into my residence for 20 years. ETAL. Signed, Gerald W. Sosby, P.O. Box 3834, McAllen, Texas 78502. Number 956-509-3622. Email gsobee@gmail.com. Okay, that was addressed to the VA. All right. Like I said, we're not making this stuff up. Now,
Yeah.
to make it evident in reality, I mean, you know, President Barack Obama did promise the American people. He promised the American people that we would have a task force. And like I said, I mean, this is all coming out of the wash now. Listen to this. This is by President Barack Obama.
Medical ethics ever perpetrated on U.S. citizens. This week, medical experts and others are meeting to make sure something like this never happens again. And leading that effort is Amy Gutmann. She heads the Presidential Commission for the Study of Bioethical Issues, and she is also the president of the University of Pennsylvania. Dr. Gutmann, thanks for being with us. This is not a single incident. We've actually had many of these things happen. What is the purpose of your commission? Are we worried that these types of things are still happening today?
Ali, we can't know whether these things are happening today unless we have a fact-finding mission, and that's what President Obama has asked the Presidential Commission on Bioethics to do, to actually meet with experts and ask them, what is it today that would prevent these things from happening again? They've happened too many times in our history, and we want to make sure, and the president wants to make sure, that we can assure the American public that if they are part of a scientific experiment or a medical experiment, they will be treated with respect and fairly. So we don't know right now how the United States is relative to the rest of the world, and that's why the president has asked me to convene an international task force of experts. And those experts are going to sit down with me, and we're going to actually discuss how different countries and the United States fare in this regard. And we should come up with a report by year's end that can inform the public as well as the president of where we stand.
Okay, we know you're having more hearings in May. We'll follow this along with you. Very curious.
You see, President Barack Obama promised a task force. He promised the people that if they were part of a scientific experiment, that they would be treated with fairness. That's not the case here, sir.
Right.
They're using me as a human antenna. I am being remotely controlled by a satellite operated in these fusion centers and by neighborhood coups. People in our neighborhoods have advanced technology to manipulate our lives, to manipulate our nervous system, in violation of constitutional law and in violation of the Geneva Convention laws that were set out so long ago. When will it stop, sir? I have been diagnosed with schizophrenia delusional when in fact I have a case of ESP, extrasensory perception. I am broadcasting my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, making me susceptible to Havana syndrome as a prime and easy target and example to the American people of what microchipping and spying devices and technology can do to an average American. So help me God. When will it stop, sir?
Yeah. Hopefully it does soon, because I mean, I'm just I'm at a loss.
Well, it's not a loss, sir. It's all facts. It's all facts. It's publicized on the web. You can go to the web is a resource tool. It's a resource. But you know what? You know what? This has been going on for 72 years, sir. And all the government has done is paid whistleblowers millions of dollars. It's fraud. Okay? When you have whistleblowers coming out that are coming out and talk about this and saying, yes, I work for the CIA. I know for a fact that people are being targeted with these weapons, and they failed to investigate that. There's something with the system. And I want you to just let me just give you a 2-minute clip to hear. Just 2 minutes. Can you have 2 minutes of my time?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. I want you to hear this clip from Dr. Robert Duncan, a CIA whistleblower. I want you to hear what he says in an interview with a media source, okay? Here's what he says.
Okay.
He's a CIA whistleblower. Here we go.
With vestibular dysfunction due to directed energy exposure by the same team of experts that diagnosed Cuban diplomats.
Duncan?
Yes.
Here we go. Dr. Robert Duncan.
So in a I have an Ivy League background, education, and I've been studying and human rights activism for what is now currently termed Havana syndrome. But this has been going on for quite some time. I worked for DARPA on projects for the CIA, for the Navy, for example, wrote the Artificial Intelligence Code, tracked the Soviet nuclear submarine fleet. But about 20 years ago, I realized some of my research was being utilized on my own citizens. And that was unacceptable to me. And since then, I've done hundreds of interviews, interviewed 2,500 victims or targeted individuals, as they're called, found commonalities of all their stories. And I've spoken to with the head of the LA FBI, to the Senate Intelligence Committee, 23 senators and representatives, with some interest. And I said, just wait when it starts happening to their agents, diplomats, and the FBI. So interestingly, a story came out yesterday that it's happening to the FBI now.
What is your
You see,
education
that's very serious, sir. You have a whistleblower that went to the Senate and went to congressmen, and they ignored this man. And the reason why they ignored this man and paid him his money is because their pockets are lined up with money from the technology giants who are running this country. But they're not realizing that they're causing fraud among veterans and among citizens, okay? They're making us look like hypochondriacs, all right? So I would like a thorough investigation of why this is going on, sir, because people are getting paid under the table, bypassing the IRS, bypassing the tax system to attack Americans and a secret society, a coup. When will it stop?
So I'm gonna add that in here that you would like to have an investigation on this, and also you said that you wanted to have a hearing, and what else did you request?
Well, sir, like I said, it's already been investigated. The silent weapon itself, on the term silent weapon or visible weapon, has been investigated already, but there's no conclusion. And like I said, what they're saying to veterans is that, well, you have to go see the VA. Well, there's no diagnostic code set up. So what did the VA? What does the VA reach out for? Oh, you're crazy. You see. And so what I want to show you here is that there were whistleblowers who came forward, who said, yeah, we are directed to go to the VA.
point of view?
But and let's just listen real quick to this. I think it's like a minute long. I think he says, yeah, he says, I do recognize that these
make it known to
here you go,
qualified and in a secure setting and provide answers to our findings.
Guys, if your assessments here are correct, these are very covert weapons, aren't they? They don't leave behind bomb fragments, bullet holes, etc. They could absolutely be used by our adversaries and have very low levels of, very easy to deny that they were even there, that they were used. Is that correct?
That's correct. There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things, especially on the low duration, the low intensity, long duration hits.
the low intensity, long duration hits. These people have been watching. They have been watching what the government's been doing to me, sir. And I'll tell you right now, they've been watching me through fusion centers and secret societies. And you do have the whistleblower embedded. All they're waiting for them to do is kill me now so they can collect on that money. And that money's been paid out in millions, sir. Okay? But the point I'm trying to make here is that he does mention right here, he did mention that, but he said, look, we are directing veterans and federal employees to go to the VA, but the VA is like, they don't have any codes. And it's clearly right. There isn't, because what you see here, 4402. Let's take a look here. Here you go. Let me see. Let me get back here. Here we go.
They're totally left out of this because the Havana Act doesn't cover your active duty members. They're told to go to the VA, but there's no VA diagnostic code, so we're not getting them care. It's not consistent. We have funding available that's allocated that we could provide to take care of all of our people in our government. We're not using it. That's why I urge you to contact the Defense Health Program.
In my last 2.5 minutes, would you say this is more on behalf of the U.S. government in terms of what we've been looking at? Is this more of a malfeasance as opposed to misfeasance?
It's a good question. I'm sure, just like so many other issues, it's a combination. I can't explain some of the obstacles that those in the government have erected to block information. I can tell you, firsthand
But
that
your opinion would be that that information is being blocked?
There is information that is absolutely being blocked from one agency to the other, particularly at the CIA. I mean, that's who we're going to point to the most, of information that the CIA has that its sister intelligence agencies, it hasn't been shared with. And I can identify a number of specific classified documents in a proper setting.
You see, so
Graza.
he clarifies that the government's blocking information on testing veterans or testing subjects. They have a secret society that's attacking veterans and Americans in our homeland, and they won't release that because they think it's part of national security. That's baloney, sir. They've been spying on me for over 30 years while the government is calling me schizophrenia. Please, I mean, they continue to attack me every day, and I'm just about lost my damn mind.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. I really do. Now I'm taking down the information that you're telling me, and I'm filing it into this complaint. And I know that obviously this is something that that you want to stop immediately. And it's. I know you said that you've been dealing with it for 32 years.
Yes, sir. I've been falsely imprisoned, mentally incarcerated, and tortured for 32 years, sir. In and out of hospitals, in and out of jail, in and out of hospitals, mental institutions, losing my job. Losing my marriage, losing communication with families and friends. It's crazy, sir, but that's the life I'm living. Confined, and electronic prison, electronic harassment. While they make a profit off the technology used against Americans. Artificial intelligence, algorithms, ESP, BlackRock, Raytheon Corporation, Boeing, Lockheed, ABC Inc., Google, Metaverse, facial recognition. The list goes on. They're not paying me a profit to use my mind or use my soul. I am plugged in to their game of network system and illegal spying. I'm not getting a profit off of what they're doing. They're using my mind, my ears, and my eyes to solicit their programs and ideas while I am robbed of my idea and robbed of my thoughts. That is not right, sir. That is inhumane. It's in violation of constitutional law and Geneva Convention laws. When will it stop?
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, and I hear you. And I did document that in here that you are tired of it, and you would like it to stop. And let me when was the last time that you talked to anybody at the VA, whether it be like
I don't know, sir. You have to go look at my medical records. Go talk to my psychiatrist, Dr. Margaret Girardi. Go talk to her. She'll show you the records. She's got a sticker, she's got paintings, she's got drawings of everything I'm going through.
Okay. And you've talked to her about these things?
Yes, and she said, take the medication, go back home so we can target you again. We can put you back in the MK Ultra program, because the MK Ultra was about medicating and targeting Americans. That's what it's about. And here we are repeating the same thing over again from back in that generation of MK Ultra Frank Church Committee. It's happening all over again. They've taken the project out of the lab and put it in our neighborhoods and homes. That's exactly what they've done with advanced technology. When will it stop?
Okay.
I mean, but you can turn on C-SPAN and watch these kangaroo courts. They have kangaroo courts. They're trying to manipulate my mind by interrogating me with satellites and drones as they manipulate my mind, looking north, south, east, and west, finding some information, something to close down their act of espionage, illegal eavesdropping, and wiretapping, sir. They got me confined in a damn fishbowl. I am a bubble boy. I am boxed in, electronically harassed, and tortured for 32 years. When will it stop, sir?
Like this for 32 years. Okay. And so your doctor, your mental health doctor, she provided you some medication
Yes.
to try to help you
Yes.
with these issues.
Yes, you have to look at my records, sir. I really don't know what they are, what the names are, long names, but you look at the record, sir. And I'm taking them as directed, but you have to look at the medical record. I have schizophrenia delusional. I forget things, okay? Look at the record to certify my argument. Because I can't certify that. I am psychological broken. I am broke.
Okay.
And right now they're attacking me. They're attacking me because I'm on the phone again. And, you know, like I said, I'm broadcasting my live 24/7. And I've got to put this helmet on my head, you know, and protect me from this torture that I'm going on, of these frequencies.
You have a helmet?
Yeah, I have aluminum helmet that I put on every day. It's got antennas in it because I'm broadcasting my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week while they hold kangaroo courts. I mean, I'm using a spectrum analyzer to figure out where the satellite's located. And like I said, I can give you a recording of how many. I mean, they're penetrating my home with low frequency ELF weapons. It's called ELF weapons.
And how long have you had this helmet?
I've had it off and on for a long time, and sometimes it helps. Sometimes I have to use magnets or whatever else that I have to strive for. That's a theory.
Okay.
I mean, but they're coercing us. If I'm supposed to be at my home resting for 8 hours, at least 8 hours, okay? If I have neighbors that are targeting me, that make me get out of my home, spend my money, go to my bank account, I mean, these weapons are devastating. They coerce you that you're going to die, that you may die at an instant rate, so you take out all your money and spend it all. Or you leave your home and find somewhere to hide for a couple of days. I mean, these weapons are I mean, it's crazy, sir, how we're being coerced to act in an involuntary situation. I mean, I am a human antenna caused by the implant, microchip in the spine, Wi-Fi signal, Y-band, W-band networks, local neighborhood stalking. I am a walking antenna for the government. And they're tracking me and remotely accessing me through a satellite. Neuralink, Elon Musk.
Okay.
And it's a mafia of stock shareholders who have control of the government and technology.
Okay. I'm going to make a quick phone call Just to check on a couple things here really quick. Do you mind if I put you on hold for just about
Sure,
1 to
go
2
ahead.
minutes
Sure.
while I make a quick call?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, George. I'll be right back with you, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. All right. I'm just waiting for them to answer. It'll be just 1 second,
Yeah.
okay? Thank you, George.
You start to realize how fucking they try to take my people. All righty, sir. Thank you very much again for your patience in holding. And let me just get this here. Hang on 1 second.
You have to ask yourself, in reality, you have to ask yourself, what did I do as a veteran to stop all this? Before I went to the VA, what did I do to stop all this? You have to ask yourself that. And you will ask yourself that. What did the veteran do to warn the American people that I wanted this stopped a long time ago? And we can go back, okay?
Yeah.
We can go back for the record. I mean, go back for the record. It clearly identifies that I attempted several times to stop this, okay? And we can go back and look at my honorable discharge. I was discharged back in 1998, okay? I was discharged back in 1998. Why did the government continue spying and tracking and torturing me if I was discharged in 1998? It didn't stop there, okay? So then I said, okay, let's file a lawsuit. So on May 12, 2000, I filed a lawsuit, okay? And then I was denied due process on August 24, 2000 to stop the act of espionage, torture, and treason. Why didn't it stop? Why didn't the judge stop this when he had a chance to stop all this spying, tracking, and torturing? It didn't stop because it led me back to the VA while I was wrongfully diagnosed and compensated when in fact we're experiencing and suffering to a crisis that we call today Havana Syndrome, a silent weapon. On August 24, 2000, I was shut down by a federal judge. And then after
You were shut down.
I was shut down by a federal judge. He didn't want to stop this. He can kick the can down the road. And then I said, well, let's go see the FBI. So then at approximately roughly, I'm going to say about maybe March 6, 2007, I went to the FBI and I asked the FBI for an investigation. And I was shut down by the FBI. Oh, no, it's not. It's impossible that we're spying you, stealing your thoughts, and torturing you. It's impossible. Get out of here. I said, no. One more chance. I've got to go to, so I went to 2 congressmen. I asked 2 congressmen for a congressional inquiry, asked them to investigate the silent weapon and spying. And they couldn't cut the red tape. I don't know why they were blocked from investigating this, but it deserved an investigation and they deserved to stop the spying, tracking, and torture done to me. And then, after I moved out of my house for being severely targeted, I moved into a different subdivision, and then I came upon a new congressman taking a new position as a former CIA operative who I thought for sure would cut the red tape, Mr. Will Hurd. And this Mr. Will Hurd, former CIA, could not cut the red tape to stop the espionage. Why? Why couldn't 2 congressmen stop the act of spying, tracking, and torturing of Americans? Why? Is my question.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I gather my evidence after being diagnosed by the VA as schizo. I walk in and file a lawsuit with the U.S. Supreme Court. And I was shut down by the U.S. Supreme Court. So clearly, I didn't contribute to this. As a matter of fact, I tried to stop all the illegal spying, tracking, and torturing done to me. And it did not stop. I went to the proper channels, and here I am still being targeted and still being played out by the Congress and Senate, holding kangaroo courts while they're manipulating me with satellite drones and electronic warfare, neighborhood gang stalking. When will this stop, sir?
Yeah.
When will it stop?
Yeah.
When will it stop?
No, I hear you. And I took down all your information here, and I'm submitting it. And as far as the other one goes, the other complaint that you have in here, like I said on that one, they have until August 6th to respond. So if you would like to call back a couple days before that and see if there's been a resolution to it, you can do so and see if there's a point of contact on there, and also check your email just to make sure that you don't miss any correspondence from them between now and then. And so I'm gonna get this submitted, and hopefully we can provide you some information and I just don't know what more I can say than I hear what you're telling me, and I feel for you. I'm sorry that you're going through that, and I know that that's just a cliche way to say that, but I hope that it stops, and I hope that you find just normal everyday peace, and we'll definitely this will get looked into, and we'll just watch your email and check for any correspondence that you may have or that you may receive. And like I said, call back a couple days before August 6th and see if it's been resolved.
Well, what irks me the most, sir, and I'm going to close out with this. I'm going to conclude with this, okay? The VA itself knew about microwave energy weapons and behavior, okay? And I want to close out and give you this because it's accurate evidence. The VA knew about this technology and behavior way back in the 70s. And I want to conclude with this and give you the evidence, okay? Because it's in my evidence, in my argument. In 1970, about March of 1975, there was an article, okay? An article published by the American Psychologist, Journal of the American Psychological Association, Volume 30, March 1975, number 3. And it says here, Microwaves and Behavior by Don R. Justison, Laboratories of Experimental Neuropsychology, Veterans Administration, Hospital, Kansas City, Missouri. The VA was aware of this, sir. Okay. So when I came to my office, it was all denied. It was all denied that microwaves were ever used against veterans or Americans. Okay. And then on top of that, you have that these weapons have been going on for a long time. I mean, why would a psychological journal, medical journal, be lying about that information? And then you have the Leonard Kell case, Leonard Kell case. That's spelled Leonard Kell. I think it's Leonard Kell case clarified that this has been going on through veterans. The Leonard Kell case, let me give that specifically to you so you can look at that. He came to the VA and told the VA that he was implanted and they were stealing his thoughts, And so in the Leonard Kell case, I mean, it clearly identifies that, in fact, and that's the Leonard Kell, spelled Leonard, Leonard Arthur Kell, Kille, okay? He mentioned to the VA back in the early, 60s and 70s that he was being targeted and they were reading his mind. So the VA is clearly aware of this, but like the Department of Homeland Security said, they have no diagnostic code. So what do they reach for? They reach for the psychiatric diagnosis, the quick way out of this. So they can medicate you, wrongfully diagnose you, deteriorate you, and then slowly kill you. Okay? When was all this going to stop, sir? When is all this going to stop?
Yeah. No, I hear you. Like I said, I mean, I really do. And just keep a lookout for your for any correspondence. And like I said, we'll hopefully you get a resolution to this, and things will get better. I hope that's what happens.
Well, there's nowhere to hide, sir. There's nowhere to hide. I mean, Barry Trower, Barry Trower, who is a microwave expert, even says that in his paper. Barry Trower wrote a paper called Fetus, Fetus Nowhere to Hide. And it clarifies that there's nowhere to hide anymore. I mean, not even a fetus can hide because you're using the technology is so advanced that you're microwaving the person to look in people's organs, to see the child inside of a uterus or a fetus of or the position of her mother. It's that dangerous, sir.
Yeah.
That dangerous, what they're doing to the American people. Microwaving the hell out of us. Cooking humanity is what he said in his video. Cooking humanity.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll be looking out for that, sir. Will you? What will you do for me? What should I do? What would be my? What do you recommend me doing as a veteran? How can I? How can I find? How can I defend myself against this as a veteran? What do you recommend?
Have you tried to reach out to any of your congressmen or anybody like that in your area?
I just told you I had two congressional inquiries a long time ago.
Right. But other than them, have you tried to reach out to
John
anybody
Cornyn.
else?
I reached out to John Cornyn. He doesn't have a response. Go see the VA. You're a vet. Go see the VA. Go see. We're all guided to the VA. See, that's like you just heard the Department of Homeland Security. We're all directed to the VA.
Yeah.
We're all directed to the VA, or we're all asked to call local law enforcement. And and calling the law enforcement is going to get you in trouble. I mean, there's clearly evidence. See, that's the thing. That's the thing you guys don't understand. People are being wrongfully, falsely imprisoned inside mental institutions. And Dr. Robert Duncan clarified that. He told Congress that a long time ago. They're coercing Americans to act other than normal. They're coercing Americans to call local law enforcement. They're coercing Americans to be admitted to psychiatry and to be wrongfully medicated. He clarifies that as a whistleblower. But like I said, it is crazy what they're doing and how they're making a profit off this war. And I'm going to end with this real quick because I want you to hear what he says. Just hear what he says, and I'm going to conclude with this. Just hear what he says.
Claims torture works. No touch torture. It's a whole new topic, a whole new category. Most people don't believe it's happening. You'd be tortured in your own home. No one will believe you. But this is torture, and I want there to be no doubt about it. This is torture, destruction of life, and destruction to misery for all these people, the innocent Americans. And it's a war crime. It's a crime against humanity for sure. They're trying to grasp all sorts of data from how effective can we make them kill each other themselves? How do you make a rational player go down to walk them to their death? The first logical thing they do is go to the police. Well, the police can't help you. They don't. They're going to give you a lockup and 72 hours and a psych ward.
One of the men behind the technology admits.
You see, so it's all involuntary duress or involuntary coercion.
Yeah.
It's all to confine. It's all to confine the veteran or confine the American citizen in being institutionalized, and that's not right, sir. It's inhumane. It's cruel. It's in violation of the Nuremberg Code, in violation of the Geneva Convention, sir. To use these weapons to coerce someone into a mental institution, that's cruel, sir. It's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And this guy's joking about it. He joked about it. He was laughing when he said, "Oh, now it's happened to the FBI," and now he called law enforcement. It seems like a joke, but when a whistleblower goes to Congress and the Senate and tells them, and they don't do anything about it, that's a joke, sir. Itself, that's a joke. To allow the fraud continue, to allow people to be confined is a joke and deserves a lawsuit. Just on the facts, on the merits of the complaint, sir.
Yeah. And just really quick here before we end our call, I did find a number here to the U.S. Capitol switchboard. And you can call this number and they can direct you to a senator's office if you would like to write this number down.
Go ahead.
It's 202
202
202
202
224
224
3121.
3121. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And whose office is that?
That is to the U.S. Capitol switchboard, and then just ask to be directed to the senator's office, and they'll ask you some information, and they'll get you connected with them.
What senator is that, sir?
I don't know. That's something that they'll look up. I don't know who that would be.
So just ask for a senator?
Yeah, they'll ask you where you're from and all that stuff. They'll get that information, and then they'll look up to see who they can connect you with. or who you can reach out to.
You want to? Can we call that right now?
Yeah, you can call them.
Okay, hold on just a minute. Let's see what they got. Let's see.
No, I'm not. I can't stay on the phone.
Why not?
That has to be a call that you have to make, because I have to take other calls, but I can't be on the phone with you while you make that call.
Okay. When can I call them? Right now?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead
Okay.
and call them.
So
right now.
when will I get a response back from your office or from the Department of Veterans Affairs? You said August 6th, right?
August 6th, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. What was your name, sir?
Monaco.
Monaco. And what do you do for the Department
Yes, sir.
what do you do for the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, sir?
I work in the Veterans Experience Office.
Veterans Experience Office. Is that a new department
Yes,
for the
sir.
VA?
No.
How long has that department been around?
It's been around for several years
Okay.
that I know of
Okay.
personally. I
Okay.
don't know when it initially started, but it's been around.
Okay, Mr. Monaco, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time and effort.
Okay.
And we'll wait for your response on August
No
6th.
problem.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for calling the Department of Veterans Affairs.
This call is.
Okay, so clearly ended that, okay? Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.